Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is for you guys. This is the Investing Bros Morning News Show. We're going to cover everything you guys need to know. Big stories happening today, both in the world of XRP and in the global economy as a whole, especially here in the US. We're going to cover that and a whole lot more with the chart. So make sure you go ahead and smash that like button if you are excited, and subscribe to the channel if you want to be daily updated on everything happening in crypto, on the news front, and on the charts. You have found the right channel. T-Shroom. Let's go ahead and jump into that top story involving XRP. We got some new updates coming on the trial. What are those?
Tim, absolutely. The SEC will drop all charges against Ripple, according to this VC. So Yasmin Mubarak, founder of crypto VC firm, suggests that the SEC might withdraw its case against Ripple to avoid negative exposure. So one thing to note here is that XRP actually had a big victory when Judge Torres actually denied the appeal motion from the SEC. So they're backing down. This is a clear backing down from the SEC, and there will be a lot to unfold here. Tim, did you have any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, it's too early to say this has happened for certain. I do think it's hilarious that they're trying to do it to avoid bad exposure because, sorry, Gary, it's a little too late. But this could be huge if it's true that they're going to drop all charges, not just for XRP, but for crypto in general.
Absolutely. Yep, moving along here. That's some big XRP news, though, guys. Banks will have to disclose crypto holdings under a new BIS plan. The Basel Committee on Banking Supervision previously recommended capital constraints to wall off TradFi from the likes of Bitcoin and Ether. So some potential new developments there from BIS. We'll see if that gets implemented or not. Blackbird crypto restaurant app raises $24 million in funding, led by A16Z. Maybe you've heard of them. The target audience is restaurants users, but the blockchain-based project comes with its own flypaper and fungible fly tokens. So this could be big. There could be a thriving ecosystem here. Restaurants is a giant multi-billion-dollar industry. Could be some interesting stuff going on there. Well, this is going to be a story that we cover a lot more in our 3 p.m. stream, guys. This is the first news in crypto of the day, right? That's what this video is. We're hitting you with the news first on the East Coast for sure, and then at 3 p.m. we go live on the same exact channel, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard. We're going to be talking about crypto founder debunking Hydra's alleged scaling issues. So a lot of folks, a lot of kind of moaning and grumbling about the scaling issues there from Cardano. Well, Hoskinson has released some details debunking that very myth. And then also, dark side of crypto, $7 billion laundered across chains, according to analytics firm Elliptic. But Tim, what do you think about that?
Yeah, the truth is crypto can be used for bad things, just like everything else. Just to put it in perspective, though, $7 billion all across crypto. We're not just talking about Bitcoin. We're talking about crypto. There's billions. The market cap's over $1 trillion, right? If it was such a good laundering asset, why do the U.S. dollars still have over $2 trillion every single year are laundered using U.S. dollars? We're talking about crypto being less than 5% of the laundering compared to U.S. dollar. This is a hit piece article. It's preying on people's fear and trying to keep them out of crypto. I continue to think of these articles as being forms of manipulation. But when you just look at numbers, we're talking about a very small fraction comparatively to the US dollar. Crypto, yes, it can be used for evil, but it's not even the best evil to use at this point.
That's right. You can use a fork to feed yourself and nourish your children, or you could use it to commit harm.
Poke an eyeball.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
There's two sides to every coin. All right. So, and then, guys, today at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, after this video will be released,
no, before the video is released, but we're just recording this before 8:30. So
thank you, Tim. It takes a village. There are a couple things you need to know about the jobs data that's coming out. We won't be covering it until 3 p.m. live on our show later today, but the Dow Jones survey is estimating 170,000 net gain in non-farm payroll, guys. The sentiment that's kind of rising here is that the fear is that if the tight labor market holds up, the Fed will hold interest rates high and jeopardize the U.S. economy at a critical time. So we're kind of reaching one of those good news is bad news situations where if this labor market can't, let me put it a different way, if the data around the labor market doesn't start to weaken, then it's just continuing to give Jerome Powell the green light to keep rates higher. Whereas if the data from and I say data because what the actual job market is, who knows? But the data, if start showing weakness, then we're going to keep having these higher rates. At least if that is one of the major variables that Jerome is considering. Now we've got a tweet here from the Kabinski letter. Just in, President Biden will make comments on the September jobs report at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This happens 3 hours after the report is released. President Biden has seized the job. Has seized the job.
Seen. I think it's seen.
Yeah,
that's
typo.
Okay.
That's okay,
Yeah.
Kabinski. We get you. Has seen the reports well before it was published. However, he does not always speak after the jobs report is released. Does this mean there's a higher chance of job numbers beating expectations? Tim, what do you think? Are they onto something here?
Absolutely. Share my screen really quickly. I'm going to show the economic data. Guys, just so you know, last month we had 187,000 job on the number for the non-farm payrolls. The expectation right now is it's going to go lower. And the expectation for unemployment rates is that it's going to be about the same as last month. We do not see President Biden talk about these issues very often. In fact, if these were negative numbers, meaning if we saw unemployment rate go up and if we saw jobs payrolls go down, that doesn't look good for him. He's on a campaign right now about the benefits of Bidenomics, right? The fact that he is speaking today would hint at the thought that more than likely we will see the non-farm payrolls go up. We will see unemployment go down. We're going to beat expectations. And he's going to use it as as he's rerunning for president, he's going to use this to push how Bidenomics is working. Now, are the numbers fudged? Does this tell the whole story? Absolutely not. But he is going to take any win he can to say, all right, guys, look, I'm doing a good job. The economy is still strong. The problem, as T-Shum alluded to, is we're dropping. Earlier this morning, even, this was over 80% predicting we were going to stay paused. It's dropped to 76%. Now, more than likely, we're going to still see a pause in November. But if those numbers come out and jobs are going up and unemployment is going down, this will more than likely drop, as T-Shum said, and will give Jerome Powell a potential excuse to either consider raising rates again or at least continuing to keep rates higher for longer. So make sure you continue to pay attention to this data that comes out at 8:30 because it's not only going to have an impact on the stock market, it's going to have an impact heavily on what crypto does in response to Jerome Powell's response and if he wants to keep raising rates. But with that said, T-Shum, is there any other stories or is it time to go ahead and jump onto some charts?
Let's get to the charts, Tim.
Let's do it. Let's start off with XRP, guys. Again, if we are seeing this is true, this story, this is a VC prediction, meaning a venture capitalist is predicting they're going to drop rates. John Deaton even kind of hinting, of course, the XRP lawyer hinting that we could see rates come to an end. Do we see a catapult coming into XRP price? Well, we're going to need to see the volume increase because right now it is nothing. We are in a bullish formation, an ascending triangle that could catapult us above that very key level of 55 cents that has been turned into resistance once again. But we also have not been able to get back above this red line, which is a long-term support level. We've recently turned into resistance. If the bears take control, watch out again for a price drop, maybe as low as 41 cents on XRP. Let's take a look at oscillators. While more recent oscillators have been bearish on the 4-hour chart, we are seeing the RSI regroup. Money flow is still curving to the downside. We have not seen on the 4-hour chart the buy signals from the MVP oscillator. Watch for potential continued movement on XRP down, and I want to see what happens around the 50-cent zone for XRP. Do we hold support and start getting some buy flashes? Or do we lose this support level and then start making our way down towards those 40-cent ranges? That's what we're seeing on XRP. Of course, we'll go in more depth this afternoon. Let's take a look at Bitcoin really quickly. Bitcoin this morning actually kind of spiking in anticipation before this jobs report. You guys know we talked about it yesterday. We had lost this rising level of support on Bitcoin. Well, now we have regained it, and we are pushing back to the upside oscillators are still looking kind of in a place where they're not really sure what they want to do. We are moving to the upside right now. Depending on what time frames you're looking at, we have some overbought, some oversold, but 4-hour chart looking like it could be ready for a new fresh rally to the upside if these job report numbers come in favorable. And when I say favorable, I actually probably mean lower than expectation. But as we said, Biden, with Biden saying he's going to speak today, I kind of feel like we're going to see those numbers come out higher than expected or better than expected. And that actually could be bearish for Bitcoin's price. Make sure you guys continue to keep your eyes on what is happening here. 28,000 is going to continue to be a level of resistance to keep an eye on. But if the numbers aren't good, maybe Biden's speaking because the numbers are bad, maybe we see Bitcoin actually spike to the upside, because this could put pressure on Jerome Powell to actually pivot and move rates lower in the future. And this could be the first time in history that actually would be a bullish sign for the markets. I'll explain more this afternoon in our 3 p.m. live show. Make sure you are there. It is a new time. We are just started this week, but we're going to be fast growing once again. Guys, that's all we have for you in this video. On your way out, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed the content, and we'll see you this afternoon.
Tryna make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor of the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shrooms news, catch a word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Tryna make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.